Tonight, a special edition of Hello Rose City. As the holiday season kicks into full swing, we're taking a closer look at the power of buying local and why lifting up small business is so important. On Point Community Credit Union is here to explain the role they play in supporting them. Plus, we'll meet two small business owners. The first is helping entrepreneurs build their own small businesses. And then we'll talk with the owner of a local store filled exclusively with products made by community creators. It's a whole show dedicated to celebrating local businesses. Hello Rose City starts right now.
Hello Rose City! Woo!
Good evening and welcome to a very special episode of Hello Rose City. I'm your host, Lacey Evans. The holidays are here and the shopping season is about to shift into high gear. So tonight, we want to talk about the power of shopping local and why supporting small businesses matters now more than ever. It's our On Point Community Credit Union in the Community Small Business Special. At On Point, there's a deep commitment to helping local entrepreneurs thrive. That's because these businesses aren't just stores or services, they're a major driver of our local economy. We'll talk with an On Point branch manager about the efforts they make to support local. We'll also hear from the owners of two small businesses who have benefited from On Point's help. To begin, we welcome On Point's Hillsdale branch manager, Meredith Bureau. Hi, Meredith.
Hi, Lacey.
Okay, so at On Point, you obviously do a lot of work with small businesses in our community. So what role do these businesses play in our economy?
Oh, small businesses are so important for our economy. And not only that, they are the financial backbone of our economy. When you think about it, 90% of the small businesses in Oregon and Washington are the small businesses. So it employs a lot of people and it really makes that impact in that community.
Yeah, and these businesses unfortunately also face a pretty big challenge, lots of challenges, especially these days.
Absolutely, it is so hard to build up and make a successful small business. Most small businesses don't even make it past the first 5 years. So that's why it's really important to do our part in giving these businesses our business and then sharing them with our community to let them know, hey, go shop there, give them the love that we're giving them.
Yeah. Put it into perspective for us. What does it mean to spend your money at a local store or a local business versus, a big box store?
Yeah, so this is really interesting. The first dollar that you spend at a local business, 70 cents of that dollar stays within the community. If you think about, yes, it gives profit to that business, but it also goes towards the wages of those employees, the cost of living for the business owner as well. And then if that business owner is utilizing other small businesses to use for vendors, things like that, that's also staying local. Now, contrast that same dollar with a big box chain or national retailer, less than 50% of that is actually staying local. So it really does make a big impact to keep it local and support those small businesses.
Yeah, for sure. What suggestions do you have for someone who is wanting to shift their shopping to be more local? Because I have to tell you, it's so easy to the convenience of a big box store or online shopping.
Yeah.
So what would you do? What would you say to someone who wants to make a difference?
Yeah, so your local farmers market is a great place to start. Lots of small businesses there. Also, the neighborhood associations, they have events where businesses get together and you can join those and get to know them as well. Chamber of Commerce is a great resource. On their website, they do list their members. So you can kind of go through that list and get inspired by one of those small businesses. And then, of course, your friends, your families, your neighbors, everybody has a local business that they love to go to and also provide a great resource.
Yeah, and there's so many little market fairs, vendor fairs, holiday fairs going on this time of year. Those people are local businesses too. You have to kind of remember that. Small, very small probably, but it still counts for sure. So how does On Point support small businesses in our community?
Yeah, so we do have a team of small business support specialists that help get those entrepreneurs off the ground, but mostly we love to spotlight our businesses, whether it's in the branches or through our social media. We get to know these businesses on a daily basis. And so if you stop into any branch, we have 58 of them, so there's a lot of areas. we would love to tell you who our favorite bakery is, best place to get coffee, where to get a great gift, for a family member. Again, we love to talk about those small businesses because we know and love them ourselves.
I love that your branches, the people who work there, are knowledgeable in so many things other than just finances,
Oh, yeah.
I love that about On Point. So, you work at the Hillsdale branch.
I sure do.
So what are your favorite businesses in Hillsdale?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have to spotlight Paloma. I'm wearing my favorite necklace today. That's been around for 50 years. Nice. Wonderful clothing store. But then also, if you want to get a great cup of coffee, we've got PGX Coffee Club. They just opened. Love to support them as well. So, and some great bakeries too. Yeah. So it's Hillsdale. It's a great place.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else that we need to mention that we forgot? Any other important facts about small business and what they mean to our economy?
I mean, they really, we need them, and they need our support more than ever right now. So just be sure to go out and find those small businesses, get to know them, ask your neighbors, and go into this holiday shopping season with helping those small businesses at top of mind.
Yeah, of course. And if you are a small business owner and might need some assistance from On Point or just need suggestions, visit one of their many, many branches. You can find the location nearest you at their website, which is right there on your screen. Thank you so much, Meredith.
Oh, thank you, Lacey.
All right, up next on this On Point Community Credit Union Small Business Special, we'll hear from an entrepreneur about her business, A-List, and how she is helping other women in the field grow their own companies. Don't go away. Welcome back to our On Point Community Credit Union Small Business Special. We're now going to talk to an owner of a small business. Amanda Maley is the founder and CEO of A-List. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so first tell us the mission and the idea behind A-List.
Sure. We're a small business as well, but we're a marketing and business consultancy for women entrepreneurs. We've, over the last 9 years, become a hub for small businesses to connect and find each other. And a lot of the pop-ups you see around town or events, a lot of that has been a result of the work that we do together.
Okay, tell me a little bit more about how your idea started and how it's grown into what it is today.
Sure. Well, I actually started my company in 2016 after a 15-year career in advertising. I'm a freelance strategist, but in 2020, I made a commitment to be more intentional about what my household does and where we spend our money. And so in 2020, I wanted to start supporting even more BIPOC-owned and women-owned businesses. But the problem was I didn't really know very many. And at the time, I had really small kids, and so we kind of made it a game. It was during the pandemic, so a lot of this was done online or little drop-off sites where we'd go pick up different things. And before I knew it, I had met hundreds of women and their businesses, and it was around the holiday season, even buying gifts for my family and my friends. And it just sort of grew from there. And that's where my business and my personal life kind of overlapped. And I met so many women that I became customers of that as we started to get to know each other, we realized, oh, we could work together. And so I've worked with a lot of these women in helping them grow their business. But then eventually we started to get together once the pandemic allowed us to be in person together, and we met up on a regular basis. And so I fundraised money to buy us all lunch at women-owned restaurants to put money back into those restaurants who were really having a hard time during that pandemic time.
Yeah. So who are some of the entrepreneurs you work with? What kind of goods and services is part of this network?
That's a great question. Many different organizations work with specific entrepreneurs in different industries or even in backgrounds. I work with people across all industries and all backgrounds, and that's sort of how we became a hub because, in any event that you might want to do, you need a florist, you need a photographer, you need a caterer. It's how we connect with each other, and then also marketing and being able to market and sell and bring people together. So all that outreach, you put all those different specialties together, that's where the secret sauce is. Yeah. That's how we've been able to support one another, and there's over 500 of us now that gather on a regular basis in order to support another woman-owned business.
What is the most rewarding part about working with these entrepreneurs?
Oh, there's so many things. That's a hard question. But I'd say, I think it's very interesting when we make a commitment like that to dedicate our time and our money and our efforts into our local communities. And then what grows out of that? I really didn't know what was going to happen. We now have over 5,000 people following us on Instagram because they wanted to know where these businesses are too. And that was something I just didn't realize, that just by making that effort, just by doing it in my household, the impact that we can make in our local community and to do it together.
What makes, you're really dialed in. So what makes the Portland business community unique, in your opinion?
For me, it's the way that we work across with each other. A lot of the ways that capitalism runs is by all of us to sort of help ourselves in a way, get our voices out there, get our brands out there. But we've realized, in this economy especially, it's important that we combine our social currency, our different brands together. And it's the mixture of, sort of that 1 + 1 = 3 situation, where the product of us coming together is way better than what we could do individually.
For sure. I get the sense that it's not so much a competition as you might think between businesses, territorial, but it is cooperative.
Definitely. And when we work as a collective, especially when we fundraise money, for instance, for a cause we all believe in, it's really easy to mobilize when we're already organized as a community together.
Yeah.
And we've been able to do that countless times, and the impact just grows every time we show up for one another.
Yeah, very cool work you do. So how can the community find out more about A-List and support what you do?
Well, they can follow us on alistwsw.com. That is our website. And then our Instagram is alist_WSW. And every day we are spotlighting, highlighting different local businesses and what they're doing. We're also really focused on 2026 and what that looks like for the different business owners here in our city. And for many of them, growth is not necessarily what they are interested in doing. It really is about sustaining and maintaining. And a lot of the folks that really were interested in these businesses come 2020, 21, really bringing everybody back to doing that. So I'm looking for strategic partnerships for next year who want to help me reduce the operating costs for these women business owners, from anything from discounting them on something to waiving a fee to even maybe sponsoring something that we might do together. So I'm very excited for 2026.
Yeah, and I thank you for coming today and hearing your perspective. It's fascinating. So thank you so much for joining us.
It was a pleasure.
All right, coming up next, another small business helped by On Point Community Credit Union. Meet the owner of Pop Local after the break. Welcome back. Thanks for watching the Hello Rose City On Point Community Credit Union Small Business Special. I'm here with another local business owner, Jessica Chan. She owns Pop Local in Vancouver. Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Okay. Thanks for being here. So tell me about Pop Local.
Pop Local is a retail home for products that are made from brands all local to the Pacific Northwest. We currently represent over 300 brands that are all local. Most of them being in our immediate region, Southwest Washington, Vancouver, Portland, and the metro area.
Very cool, very cool. Was building this business always something you wanted to do?
Retail, absolutely not. So, I think a responsibility as business owners and entrepreneurs is to problem solve and to be of value, especially during hard and trying times. And for that was COVID. At that time, I owned an event company, Night Market Vancouver, where we relied heavily on large public gatherings to generate revenue. When that ceased to exist, I was trying to survive and pivoting and simply trying to help others do the same. One of those pivots was opening what I thought would be a temporary brick and mortar at that time that would allow me to support a lot of the local businesses and makers that I was working with, initially in the event space, but in a safer atmosphere.
Yeah. And here you are. If I wasn't so temporary, was it?
Yeah. Graduated, you can say, from that temporary to now a permanent brick and mortar.
Yeah. How has this business helped you connect with the community?
The amount of people and founders that I've met along this journey, from business owners. I know I can speak for my team too about how meaningful that is to connect and learn the stories of all the makers behind most all the brands that we carry. I'm still very active in events, and Pop Local is. We're still able to support local creators and independent businesses in the form of events, and also to help showcase their products in store.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about the products that you have. We just saw some pictures of inside the store. It looks super cute. So people are going to be needing holiday gifts. So what are some of the products you offer?
A large variety
Yeah.
from plants, artisanal stacks, beer, wine, bath and body, pet items, anything you can really think of. Whether or not you are a local that wants to support, your favorite sauce vendor from a farmer's market. We have a lot of those vendors in store, and also if you are a tourist that wants to be able to take home something that's meaningful and that really resonates with you, that's made right here in our neighborhood.
And do you find that you're on the Vancouver waterfront, a great spot? Amanda was kind of talking about this. Do you find that community to be cooperative and helpful as well? There's a whole lot of different vendors up there, different businesses.
Yeah, there's so much creative talent in our neighborhood, and the waterfront has been amazing. Very honored to be there and to be in such a destination to be able to represent some of our local culture right there, and we love our neighbors. On Point being one of them that happens to be around the corner from me. So
Nice.
It's great to just feel like we're supporting one another.
Yeah, definitely. Well, how can the community support you? How can they find Pop Local, shop with you?
Yep, Pop Local, you can find us. PopLocalVancouver.com is the website. Give us a follow on socials. We post a lot of the events that we have upcoming there. And yeah, please shop local this holiday season. Your dollar goes very far when you are spending it local. It means you're supporting an individual's livelihood, a dream, a passion, and it could be the difference of somebody being able to keep their doors open.
Yeah, and you're kind of spending local double if you shop at Jessica's store, and then that money goes also to that local vendor. So I love it. So thank you for coming and sharing your perspective today, and we'll have you back in a moment to get some final thoughts. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We want to wrap up this On Point Community Credit Union Small Business Special with some final thoughts from today's guests. So Meredith, I'll start with you. As you watch these two local business owners explain their mission and purpose, what came to mind?
Honestly, I was so inspired. I mean, to see these powerful women just doing it and really, supporting each other and just putting together really amazing businesses. And I really want to come shopping at yours. Wow, there's so much fun stuff in there. That's great.
Yeah, I loved the two different perspectives. You're very public facing, you really business owner facing. So I love those two perspectives. And Amanda, what does it mean to you and the entrepreneurs you work with to have support from On Point?
Well, On Point, from the beginning, when we started to get together, they were our sponsor to help fund hiring women to organize these different meetups. And they've been a sponsor ever since. But then that evolved, and they became folks that were following me on Instagram, also buying from the women that we were highlighting, and then eventually working with them as a strategist. So I mentioned I'm a consultant, and so I've been able to consult with them too. So it just goes to show all these different ways and facets that we can work together. And at the root of it, really just supporting one another.
Yeah, and Jessica, what do you hope our viewers take away from the conversation tonight?
The importance of supporting local. Support your neighbors, your friends, the dreamers and doers that inspire a greater local economy every day.
Yeah. What about you two? What do you hope viewers take away tonight?
Well, I mean, we're going into Small Business Saturday.
Yes.
So this is your time. Go out, find those new businesses, give them that extra, support and love, and know that they're people, just like us, and they're starting or continuing to grow in their careers and build something from it. So, and there's a lot of really great shops and things to purchase at these.
Of course.
Businesses.
Yes. And Amanda, what about you? What do you hope viewers take away?
I think, yeah, definitely shop local for this holiday season, but know that's a year-round thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I met a lot of my dear friends through this work, so it's not just about that transactional piece, but really getting to know the people in your community that can be your friends, your colleagues. Some of them are now my clients. It's just all how we get to know each other. So when you start with an intention of helping each other, it can grow from there.
Yeah. Well, again, you can learn more about OnPoint support for small business at onpointcu.com. And of course, a reminder, this Saturday is Small Business Saturday, so we hope you get out, spend your hard-earned dollars at local businesses. And instead of just Saturday, as Amanda said, we hope you make it a practice to shop local all year round. Thank you all for being here, but I want to let you know if you missed any part of tonight's special, you can watch it on your time. Stream us on KGW+. That's our TV app on Roku, Amazon Fire, and your Apple TV. Download it and search for Hello Rose City there. You'll also find this special on our website. It's kgw.com/Hello Rose City. Thank you for watching. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it.